Junior Regallo at a site visit Skinner Park with spectacular and representative of the bands that will be performing on the concert on May the 18th. So the promoter, Mr. Frank Martino, is here with us, and we're trying to work out some of the logistics and making sure that all stakeholders are in agreement with our decisions we are making. So, Frank, this is the layout of Skinner Park, and I'd like you to outline to us exactly how you want to position the band so we can get an understanding how we go forward.
Well, what we are doing, we are constructing 2 massive tents to accommodate the audience. And in front of that will be 2 40 by 40 stages, covered stages. So people will be protected from the elements just in case. It's a show that we don't want to take any chances, even though we are in the height of the dry season. We don't want to take any chances. That's why we're installing 2 massive tents to accommodate the audience. As a matter of fact,
so the 2 tents will be from the grass part of the park.
Going.
The
There is north or south.
That'll be going north.
Yeah, going north, right? Yes, and the 2 stages will be in front of it.
In front of it. Yeah. Further north.
Further north, yeah.
So then, is it close like what we have for Fiesta, that kind of setting?
Yeah, but just that Fiesta, the audience do be accommodated under any structure, you know. But basically, the stage for the two stages for the bands will be around the same area of the stage.
What about the grass? Will be covering the grass?
Yeah, the grass will be covered with porta floor.
Yeah. Will there be any kind of, if it's a tent and it's covered, will there be any kind of porta pool, as the case maybe, as they call it?
Yes, definitely porta cool. We would have to put in a couple porta cools. Yeah.
There will be a hot evening. Coming out.
Definitely. Yeah, of course.
The mayor, the blaming because the mayor, you know, I make sure I ask all these pertinent questions.
I hear you.
Right. So what about the like bars and drinks and things? Is it? Will the bands require will the supporters or the patrons coming with a cooler, or you have anyone?
Yeah, we allow coolers, you know, and as far as yes, but we will also be supplying a bar and a food court, which will more go to the eastern end of the area here.
Starting time?
7 o'clock sharp.
7 p.m. Well, I think we're looking for an exciting evening. I'm crying for this, and I'm very happy to be partner with you.
At the time this interview is done, on Monday the 29th of April, between the 3 bands, they already have about 15 big maxi taxi filled with their supporters coming down. So, I don't know how many it will be by the time the day of the show.
Well, it's all coming down to support South. You know? I mean, I don't know how we divide the country in half. At the end of the day, cut off by Cuba or something. I know for a fact, based on the response I've been getting and reports I've been getting, that the South bands and the supporters are coming out, coming by the drill. So we are drawn. I am in center of all this.
Yeah, you see me. You can't talk as a pan man.
I can't think, but I understand that they're going to draw out the Northerners. So I don't know what Renegades will have to say about your thoughts on this.
Well, the thing about it is that there's 6 good bands, so we expect that the show will be good and that everybody coming out blazing. So the winners in all of this is the patrons.
Yes.
Yeah, the patrons will be winners. You know, so and that's what the band should be out to objective of the band.
Definitely, that is the objective.
Yeah.
So well, what about the repertoire? I mean, Renegades is a champion band now. I mean, 2 years in a row, dynamic, having the spell of the time of their life right now. What can we expect from this from Renegades?
Well, Renegades is always more than a panorama band. So we have a repertoire, a varied repertoire that we pull together for occasion, whatever the occasion is. So that, and then from our experience from touring and so on, we know what it takes to do a show like this. So you can expect, you know, a tight performance from Renegades, you know, one varied, one that will appeal to any audience, and that's how Renegades operate.
Comment from a champion band. Right, we also have in attendance, we have the manager of CB Fun Club, Mr. Darren Shepherd himself. So let us hear Mr. Darren Shepherd.
Well, Fontley is preparing in earnest to participate in this event. First of all, it's an honor because the band has had its challenges over the last few years. But we see this as an opportunity to make a statement. And in saying that, Fontley is going to perform first. So everybody, the pace is going to be set by Fontley. So handle your business accordingly.
I hear you. Mr. Shepard. So here we have Punter, we setting the pace, setting the standard, raising the bar over the number of the first band to come out and come out blazing, as Darren is saying here this morning, coming out blazing. And we have joining us right now representing Pan Elders. A fellow with banking experience. He's not a finance man here.
He come in money.
Yeah, he come in money. He come fully loaded. We'll come down on this side. So we'll have our panel who will speak secondly about your panelers' preparation for this event. What we can expect from a champion band 6 in a row. I'll be doing something right. Panelers represented this morning.
Richard Butler, Panelers, PRO. Well, we be coming prepared as everyone else to put our best foot forward and try to make it a very good event. We be practicing all our tunes and stuff and trying to come as good as you. So you can expect something great from us.
There you go, another champion band again speaking. We have with us this morning Mr. Brandon Bob representing Caribbean Airlines Skiffle. Let's see what Skiffle is up to.
Pleasant morning to one and all. Pleasant morning. It is an honor to be among these distinguished gentlemen here. So, come the 18th, we're going to have a wonderful show. Skiffle is also working assiduously to put on a great show and come out and represent the South, as we have the giants, the legends of the Northern Hemisphere coming down south. So, we'll also be good hosts and treat them to some Southern hospitality and, have a wonderful evening.
So here you have what you call gun talk. Gun talk from the 4 bands we have here this morning. We understand the Desperados they are on the way back from Tobago, not here with us this morning, and the representatives from All Stars at a critical meeting in Port of Spain. So we apologize for their absence, but we know their reputation, we know their consistency over the years. So we have no doubt that they will be also coming on blazing. So we are looking forward to this event. It's our first to San Fernando, and I'm sure from Chaguanas to Cedros will be coming to support this event. So, Mr. Martino, you have been tasked with the responsibility of putting it together for us on our behalf. The city is behind you. We support you in every way we can, and we'll do whatever we have to do to make this possible. Another note again is that this may very well be the last event in Skinner Park as we know it, because Skinner Park is embarking on a major refurbishment program immediately after this concert, and it was supposed to start on the 1st of May, but only because of the value and the content of this event, we decided to postpone the refurbishment of the park. And that's how important it is to Southerners to have this event. So we look forward to a great evening. Mr. Martino, it's not normal for anybody to speak after the mayor, but you are given the responsibility there. Brief protocol.
Wow, boy. Well, we at Spectacular Promotion really looking forward to promoting this event. The idea, as I said before, it came,
Martino, just one second. One of these bands told me that some videos were made, but only seen one band on television, and just being the messenger here.
No, actually, it's 2 bands we are rotating right now. Okay. We have the one done by All Stars and the one by Pan Elders. Okay, right. They started, I think, was...
So you get like in pairs, like?
Yes. Okay. So they probably will go up for the next couple of nights, and then we'll run another 2. We know how sensitive this thing is.
Yeah.
It's 6 bands, you understand? And I have to divide everything by 6. So I'm not going to make that mistake of just using,
you know I'm going to get called here, Mr. Mayor.
Of course, no.
We're allowing that to happen.
Yeah.
I've seen Dave Gulston on the TV.
Well, maybe every time the other band commercial comes on, they probably go to the bathroom. You understand? But it's 2 bands right now, and I saw both of them being rotated last night. And as I said, they go up until for the next few nights, and then we change again, But as I was about to say, that we are really looking forward to putting on this event. And, I want to take this opportunity to let people know that we're not new to promoting Pan. As a matter of fact, this may be the first event where it's an exclusive Pan show. But in the past, starting in 1977, with our first show under Spectacular Promotions, we use... I just do not recall the name of the steel band, but our first show that featured Millie Jackson, we used a steel band. It was Millie Jackson, Shadow, and a couple of other local artists. Also for the tribute to Sparrow, we use All Stars. The tribute to Kitchener, both shows were in the stadium. We used Renegades. That was back in the 90s. We also brought Andy Narell for a couple of performances at the Forum with Bookji Sharp and so on. So we are not new to Pan events. As I say, this one is the first of many that I hope that will be of exclusively Pan. And with the excitement that we are getting from it, it could only bring the best out of Spectacular in terms of the production. We are really leaving no stone unturned to make sure that the production, the people are the winners of this event.
If you would permit me, sir, I want to take this opportunity to thank Spectacular Promotions for jumping in the fray in terms of promoting Pan, and I hope that other promoters take heed and mirror what you all are doing, not only from an exclusive Pan point of view, but from the point of view of including Pan in their events, as you would have described. Because one of the major ways to keep the fraternity alive is to be able to integrate the instrument in other types of events, so that our people and people abroad, when they come to perform, could see the value of the instrument and create opportunities for us outside of Trinidad and Tobago. So let me thank Spectacular Promotions for jumping in and being the catalyst to ensure that this event is world-class standard.
Well, I think it's the responsibility of the city as well to ensure that it happens, because we have been doing this, started this, I think, 2 years ago. How do we create Pan events in the city as well? That was the basis to this, because we figured that most of the Pan events are held in Port of Spain. And how do we, we on our own, I and my own as the mayor can't do it because we don't have the resources to do it, and we have to incorporate others and people with the resources and the experience and background, like the case of Mr. Martino and others. And I want to endorse it down and saying that ask other promoters to consult with us, meet us, because we can, facilitate to make it happen, as we are doing. This is really a collaborative effort between both parties, and I look forward to a very, very successful event. And gentlemen, you want to send Mr. Butler? Yeah, and you see what happens is that the Pan movement becomes dormant between Ash Wednesday and the next panorama. A lot of the bands have just settled and not doing anything. They're inactive. Yes, the enterprising bands and those with resources can do events, but a lot of those bands are not that fortunate. So we have a responsibility, particularly with the Hat That Highway, to ensure that, and not only for the participants and the bands, but to the pan-loving public. And there's a whole spectrum of persons over the age of 40, like yourself, Mr. Martino, who don't go to parties and don't go out, and they enjoy the safety, the ambience, and the quality of music that the Steelbands are playing. And also it's an encouragement to the young people who are already playing the instrument. So let's continue in this vein and ensure that there are events for our pan-loving public and opportunity for our pan players. So, gentlemen, thanks for being here this morning. If you all have any question in terms of what is happening here, what about the sound system, Mr. Martino, because that's a critical area. If we're going to be talking to a volume of people, that we have the right sound system and the representation of the instruments and how we get across to the public. What do you have in mind for that?
Well, the song will be handled. As a matter of fact, before we came here, I mentioned it to Mr. Izano? Macano, always mixing up Mr. Macano, Renegade, and who else was there when we were speaking of the name of the sound company that we were using, and they were quite satisfied that I have the right person for the job.
My concern as the band that's playing first, is there an opportunity? As the band that's performing first, would there be an opportunity to song check? Because if that is done, then it sets the stage for the bands to come after, that we have the right type of levels. So I think that is important. So if we could coordinate for Frontlet to be here early enough that we could get a song check to kick off the show at the right levels.
Who would be the sound company Who is the sound company that you are engaging?
No, I know him as Dexter Sama. He has a song name, song company, but I just know Dexter. But the engineer will be his last name is Camps, Oliver Camps. Yeah, no, not Oliver Camps. Oliver Camps is football one. Forget what Camps is. Edward Camps. Yeah. Yeah, that will be demand.
And did you say we're using 2 stages? Or
Yeah, 2 stages, 240 by 40 stages. Yeah.
Well, and sound checking is the day before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Fontclair should sound check last.
Yeah.
So when you sound check last, you can leave your instrument. And what can save time too is if we leave the bands that perform first, they leave their drum kit on the stage so that they don't have to set up, and we might. Yeah, well, when I say the bands that perform first, I mean first and second. Yeah.
1, 2, 5, 1, 3, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, and 2, 4, 6.
Yeah. So that makes us change over for when the changing is easier. Yeah.
I think we cover most of the area. So it'll be 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 6 in the order. And we have to look at, based on the question that Mark is asking there, the event is Saturday the 18th. When you like to have all the bands inside? I used to want to say Saturday. You have a cut-off time?
You mean in terms of performance? Well, I would say if the show started at 7, I would like to have all the bands inside here by 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock on the day. As a matter of fact,
We're trying to avoid having bands doing sound check while patrons coming in.
definitely that is a no. I would hope that all the bands would not have a problem in probably even getting their bands here on the Friday. There'll be security at the venue. There'll be security at the venue.
But also if you're sound checking the day before.
Mike.
If we're sound checking the day before, maybe all the bands could just leave their pants here. That's much easier, yeah.
So then we have to do sound check maybe Friday night. Maybe should be the question. Right.
Yeah.
So let's use Friday night as the sound check night. We come in. We could. I strongly recommend that we use Friday night as sound check, and the orders and drinks will be supplied by the promoter on Friday night. So I give everybody that assurance that I will make the park available, have the technicians available, and food and drinks provided by the promoter, especially for the bands coming from the north. You know? So we have to, it's part of the catering and the hospitality aspect that Brandon boast about a while ago will be provided by the promoter, and more or less we'll take responsibility to ensure that everybody well fed. So we look forward to a very interesting, very enterprising, and a very satisfactory evening for all concerned, all stakeholders as we move forward. Any questions, gentlemen? So we stop here, but what we do, we have lunch now, and we go back to City Hall to have a press conference with the media. So we look, these questions that were asked here are logistic questions for the promoter and myself, because we are both the people involved in this. So we have that out of the way. We're going to be selling the show to the media. Your plans, your letters, all your secret, your repertoire, in a very general way, your preparation process, your expectation, and that kind of thing, and the camaraderie between the bands. And you're going to go to threaten, you can make a few threats, you know what I mean? You can tell them that if you feel, are you Fontclair who said, yeah, right, Fontclair say, well, you feel, Skinner Park in Savannah, or you have another guest coming. All that good. Yeah, all that could be good, you know what I mean? You can't threaten yourself, what are you threatening yourself, what I do? You don't always treat people down here. Ask Sparrow. Ask Sparrow. Send your back in. You ever heard about Jotex? You ever heard about Jotex? You know what happened to Jotex in the bowl? Jotex went in the Prima Bowl, and Martina Coy went on the stage. You remember that? Yeah. Right? And say, but look at this skinny, like a skinny leg you want to stand for and do. At the end of the show, you know. At the end of the show, bottle, big Jotex, American R&B singer. Say, well, this is San Fernando, but your legs are so skinny. All the girls have skinny legs.
But you have a song, so we have
going on. Song? Was no song, was Stone and Bottle. Bottle here and the man running with the guitar head on the stage. I will never forget that.
I remember what happened to Dr. Hart in the park.
Oh, that. San Fernando, we don't suffer fools gladly in San Fernando. Don't make no mistake and interfere with anybody in San Fernando. So this is a warning to the three north bands, right? Come with peace and love. It's the ambience and well, it's called. No, it has to do with the interaction. Interaction. You probe him, you probe him. Try to find out. Judge by his own standards. I'm a leader. I'm a big brother, a role model. You know, I can. Part of the criteria, you know, to qualify. Last one, so we could. Ready, Hollis? All right, ready, sir? Make sure in proportion there. Even, and I see, and I must see the top of your thing. So. Let me pass to that. Miss Lee, ready? Okay. So, just taping. Right. So, gentlemen, the fact that we have all the media houses here and TV6 is a testimony to the importance of this event. And we're here today to begin the official promotion of the spectacular event that we're planning, comprising 6 of the best steel bands in the world in Skinner Park on May the 18th. And with us this evening, we have the various representatives of these top bands. Mr. McConnell representing Renegades. Skiffle is represented by their co-captains, Brandon Babb and Joshua Regrello. Mr. Butler is representing Pan Elders. Desperados, they are on the way back from Tobago. And All Stars, they were an important assignment this morning. So I'll begin by asking the promoter of the event, Mr. Frank Martino, to outline the event and the prospects and what we can expect. Mr. Martino, can you just bring this microphone close to where you are, please?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again for taking the time to come here. Well, just a brief history of Spectacular. Spectacular started in 1977. Our first event was Millie Jackson at the Savannah, March 1977. Since then, we went on to bring the Jackson 5, Teddy Pendergrass, many other acts to Trinidad, mainly North American acts. Until in 1982, we started with Calypso Spectacular. We got into the Calypso arena. But as I said, we started in 1977, and we have also done within many of our shows. We have included the steel band in a number of our shows in the past. This is the first event that it will be steel bands exclusively. The idea came about, just like most things that happen in the world. Somebody heard something, somebody got an inspiration, and I just happened to. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was complaining that South people is complaining that they don't get anything like this. It'll be going a pancho in Port of Spain, sometime last year, and the idea hit me. But that's a fact. So let me put an end to that, and that is how North South Pan Spectacular came about. As all the releases and the advertisement would say, it's on the 18th of May at Skinner Park, and the show starts at 7 p.m. As a matter of fact, I started really doing some work on the event in September, October last year, asking questions and so on, but didn't really finally put it together. Just started putting it together just before Carnival. I chose the 3 bands from North, and as fate would have it, they came 1, 2, 3 in the panorama. And the South bands, well, they more or less chose themselves also. And we are really working towards presenting a spectacular show. We are leaving no stone unturned in making sure that every single patron leaves Skinner Park thoroughly satisfied. We will be putting our best experience. We are talking to the people more into the pan business. We are seeking the help of the pan people to guide us along the way. As we said, that this is our first exclusive pan show. But I think with our experience and their guidance, we would be able to give you a top class show on Saturday, May 18th.
Thank you, Mr. Martino. And I didn't hear anything about the San Fernando City Corporation there, so let me take my plug there. And we are collaborating with Mr. Martino to ensure it happens, and we're doing everything that we can do to make this not only possible, but a success. We are collaborating with him and with the bands to ensure that we overcome some of the minor hurdles and challenges that we anticipate. With us today is a group of very experienced Steelband leaders representing the various bands, and of course, yes, it's a North-South spectacular, but it's more than that. It's the competitive aspect that will make the event the success we anticipated would be, because we have a tendency to try to outdo each other. Some of us be a little modest and say, well, no, we're here to perform, but I know it goes beyond bragging rights. So at this point, I want to ask the reigning Panorama champion, Renegades, to outline to us what their approach and what their strategy would be.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, let me say that Renegades is more than just Panorama, right? And we are therefore very grateful to the promoter of this show for putting on a show like this in Trinidad, because for some time we have been, well, not just us, but the Steelband fraternity as a whole has been clamoring for events of this nature to involve the Steelband, and we always say the pan is as well. We know that this is the birthplace of pan, but yet we don't have shows of this magnitude in Trinidad and Tobago as often as it should happen. So therefore, Renegades is happy to be part of this, because as a band that has toured extensively and appear in jazz festivals and arenas all over the world, we are happy to see that this is starting to happen in Trinidad. This is not the only one, but at least it is one of the few, and we are hoping that we'll see many more. So we are coming out there to display the talent that we have been demonstrating around the world, right? And yes, there's an edge of competitiveness in it, Mr. Mayor, but at the same time, we are not so much interested in winning for winning the other bands, but winning the supporters, because we think they will be the biggest winner on the day.
Okay, well, let us see what Funclair has to offer. I invite Mr. Darren Shepherd, the manager of LCB Funclair, to lay down his threats.
Have mercy. It is indeed a pleasure for Funclair to be part of this experience. The band is in the process of a rebranding and a restructuring from an organizational standpoint, and this is a unique opportunity for us to demonstrate where the band is heading. Funclair has always been a band with a very good stage side, a band that always had excellent repertoire, especially where funk and pan and vocals is concerned. So we are intending to present, and we're opening the show. So we're going to set the pace. We're going to lay the groundwork for the big guns to come after. Fontclair is big on improvisation based on the influence of Ken Professor Fillmore. And of course, you're going to hear Pan by Storm on that evening, again in his honor. And we look forward to the camaraderie. We look forward to having a great show. We look forward to bringing the people from north, south, east, west, you name it, to come out and support the national instrument. Let me take this opportunity to thank the folks at Spectacular and the city of San Fernando, the mayor and his team, for putting this event together. It only augurs well to develop Pan in the city and in the southern part of the island. We do hope that there are many more opportunities like this, and we hope somewhere that the powers that be, listening to this interview, will legislate for Pan to be a part of all major activities in Trinidad and Tobago. We bring foreign acts here all the time, and a lot of times there's no Pan involved in these events, and I think legislation is key to ensure that it is represented, the music is represented on air and off air at all events. It's a pleasure to be here, and Fontclair is looking forward to making a valuable contribution to this event.
Thank you, Mr. Shepard, for a very cogent overview on this project. So we will now move to the South Bands on my left. I will start with Premier Airline Skiffle, and let us hear what they will be presenting on that evening and their strategy. I'm running the show, not you.
Okay. So as said before, we're very pleased to be a part of this show, which we know will be spectacular, cliche as it is. And we think that this is an amazing event for not just for us, but for Pan on a whole, because it's not often that you see an event that boasts having 6 steel orchestras, and we think that's something fantastic. And with the other bands, we just hope and we know that we will put down an amazing performance and give San Fernando what they need and what they deserve. So we just look forward to an amazing show and giving our best performance possible.
Thank you. We move to Pan Elders, 6-time reigning medium band champion, coming out blazing on that evening. Let's hear Pan Elders.
Okay, it's good to be part of the organization. I can promise you we will be maintaining our standard. We expect a little rhythm and blues, jazz, but mainly you'll get our Panama selections, of which we were made famous with. So we are happy to be part of the organization, as I said. So we'll be there shortly on the 18th.
Okay. I'll bring up your thoughts as well.
Firstly, I'd like to start off by thanking both the San Fernando City Corporation and Spectacular Promotions for putting on this event to showcase the talent of both northern and southern bands, particularly the southern bands, because not often there are events of this magnitude that showcases the south bands. So kudos to them for putting on a production like this, and I look forward to many more events of this magnitude to come.
So I will speak on behalf of Desperados and All Stars, who don't really need an introduction, and we don't have to make any claim about their testimony to the wide array of achievement over the years. And a matter of fact, it was a consensus between the bands to allow, may I say, All Stars to end the show with Woman on the Bass, and none of us opposed to that. We have no problem with it. But of course, we're moving for bragging rights, and Fontclair will be starting, and of course, they might end their performance with Pan by Storm. So we'll start the performance with Pan by Storm and end with Woman on the Bass, and they can't get better than that. At this point, I would like to ask the media, give the media the opportunity to ask questions to our very distinguished panel of steel band managers and leaders. Yeah, when you arrange it.
So the arrangement will be the same to Woodstock?
Yes.
So is that part of your repertoire, or is
Well, we'll be playing the tunes that we are accustomed, that we have been playing all along. So it will be the same tunes that we've been featuring in the past. You get to know so the same tunes. Ended with The Will, which is our panorama tune this year. Right? So the new arranger, he is not on board as yet. So I can't say anything further. I'd like to refer your comments to Mr. Hollis Smith. He will give you all relevant information. You can't find him. Okay. He'll be at the panel, I think, for the rest of the week, from 7 o'clock.
Media questions for the panel.
So, last year you had the weddings and skiffle show. What, in terms of audience participation, was that show successful?
It was a very successful event. It was Hello, This is the Year for Love, a combination between weddings and skiffle, because as not only the mayor but somebody with a passion for the art form, it's a responsibility that I have to ensure that we have events of this nature, and this is easy for me to do. It's like bringing the mountain to Muhammad. We have to go up, as somebody indicated earlier on, to Port of Spain to witness the events. And Frank and I have been talking about this for a while now. What can we do? And I am, as the mayor, we don't have the resources to promote events of this nature. We don't. So you have to have somebody with the capability, with the wherewithal. And I think Spectacular probably is the ideal production team to do it for us. And we have identified how do we go forward. And we owe it to the South. As the mayor, I don't have, yes, I belong to the skiffle team, but I'm also the mayor of all the Steelbands. So I have to find opportunities to promote the bands, as I may say, and those who are worthy of representation and commendation and the opportunity. I think that the 3 bands that we have selected are really perfectly poised and capable of representing the southern region and matching up to what the might of Port of Spain bands. It's really the north-south aspect is critical, because that's where the real battle is. And this is how we grow, this is how we expand, this is how we improve. We cannot deny that these bands, when you look at the achievements over the years, how many Panama they have won, it's an amazing feat and record of achievements. And we have to try to match that one way or the other. And we have to admit that there is a slight, if I may say, disparity and gap between the 2 regions, and we have some work to do, and we are cognizant of it, and we're working towards that. So it more or less creating a benchmark. This is the standard. This is where they are. They have worked very, very hard to reach where they are. And Mr. McCann could tell you how hard Renegades worked over the years. 3 or 4 years ago, Renegades was 7th in Panorama. They moved to 5th position and 3rd position. Look where they are now. And we must aspire to do the same. And I think this is a wonderful opportunity for us to work towards that direction.
Really, the reason why I'm asking is because, in addition to promoting the culture, you talk about people have been asking for a show of this magnitude in the South. But I'm wondering, there must be a financial benefit to all of this, and I'm wondering how would people really respond, in terms of.
Well, when you look at the geographical structure of, let's take it from the regional, from a Pantrabago perspective. The south central region of Pantrabago begins in Chaguanas, central, and goes as far as Guayagayari in the east, and Cedros in the deep south. So we have a whole wide market to target and to attract, because we're representing the southern region. And Port of Spain really is a small area compared to us. So we have the advantage in terms of numbers. And if we get the support of our numbers, we will be able to, the southern region, we will to outnumber the northern, our northern counterparts.
Yeah, but I know that we are all part-time members of the Steelbands in our support.
Speak for yourself, Mr. Webb.
We have the Important Birthday celebration, so that's a big draw.
Yeah.
Established. So I'm wondering, coming so soon after that, if
Well, it's a different nature of event because they borrow the point forting activities are pan on the move kind of activity, and it allows people to chip along and enjoy music in a particular mood and mindset. Whereas if you come into a concert of this nature, you're coming to hear a band explore a wide range of music and based on the repertoire. And each band have their own unique style of playing. As Darren outlined a while ago, Frontline has a style. Renegades has each band unique in their own way. So you're getting a package that you will not get elsewhere. And of course, the whole lineup of it. So, Frank, you want to elaborate on that some more?
You can finish your point.
Sorry. I mean, the fact that the package is unique is what makes it different.
I am really hoping that this show does what a show we did in 1981 or 82 did for Calypso, that this show will do for Pan. In 1981 or 82, I'm not too sure the year, we brought Kool and the Gang to Trinidad. And normally, when we bring an R&B act from the States, we normally put local R&B acts from Trinidad, Carol Addison and so on. And we took a deliberate decision in putting 4 Calypsonians on that show. Blue Boy, as he was then named, Chogdas, Explainer, and Nelson. And at the end of the show, at the end of the first half that had the Calypsonians, a number of people said they had their money's worth. Kool and the Gang was under pressure to perform in that second half, the kind of performance that those 4 Calypsonians give. And I don't want to pat my back for myself, but up to a couple of years ago, Peter Blood had referred to the show once again. Among many times he had referred to the show as the real catalyst for Calypso music. It was thereafter that people were, including ourselves, presenting Calypso out of Carnival and was well received. Nelson in concert, Tambu in concert, Rudder in concert, and it was all because of that Kool and the Gang show. So let's hope that this show does that exact thing and that we'll get more Pan out of Carnival. More Pan shows out of Carnival.
We all said that we welcome events like this in Santa Ana.
Streaming live.
Yes.
Let's hear what the Guardian have to ask. The Guardian has a question. The Guardian. Mr. Webb representing the Guardian. No?
Frontline is 54 years old, and in anything, in any organization, there's ups and downs, and we recognize that we have had some challenges. I haven't been part of the band's structure for the last 10 years, and coming back in recently, we recognize that there are some shortcomings, and we intend to address that. But we want to holistically rebrand Frontline. We would like to have a closer relationship with our community. Frontline came from Funrose and Clare Street. That's where the name came from. And the reality is, over the years, sometimes you get a little bit comfortable and you get a little bit complacent, and you don't maintain that relationship with the community. So that's one of our major trusts. We're going to reorganize the band from a management standpoint, bring more people on with more expertise so that we could engender the kind of support that is necessary to feel a band from the Southland, which has its own challenges where transportation and other issues is concerned, so that we could compete with the likes of the Renegades and the Desperados, who have sponsorships in the realm that we could only dream about. So we have to find new ways to be able to be competitive. And the only way we could do that is to do what they're doing and do it better.
So would you be drawing from the strength of Renegade? Would they be partnering, assisting you in any way?
I mean, it is obvious what they've been doing over the years. And we need to be able to adapt the things that work for them into our situation and develop our own structures and our own strategies to ensure that we are successful. Frontlayer has a very good track record over the years, but a lot of the issues that we face, the bands in the North do not face. And we have to find meaningful and innovative ways to be able to overcome those. And the only way we could do that is to bring more experienced people on board.
We call it bragging rights. That's what we call it, bragging rights. It will always, what you're going to get, and that's why we have evolved over the years, the competitive aspect, we work towards that, because each band in a unique way will be trying to do their best. And we don't have to compete. The audience in their own will be making the people who come in the score sheet, their own score sheet. That's the nature of it. And that approach and strategy allow us to grow and be where we are today. So I don't see it as a negative. A Panman war? Well, a war of words, a war of music, a war of... yeah, we have words too. Well, we have words because I heard Darren Shepherd and his Frontlayer saying in their interview, in their clip, if the North Band thinks Skinner Park is the Savannah, it's not happening. So that's war of words, and we do that. We do that every time. When we have our normal block with the pioneer and Frontlayer coming up, we tell them this is not down in the hole, this is in the coffee. So we have that. When two boxers meet before they get in the ring, and they do the PR, they do the thing. The wrestlers do the same thing too. So that happens now as a war of words and the war of the risk on the night and the music, censorship as the case may be. But it's all positive towards the. I mean, at the end of the day, Pan will be the winner. Well, you ready?
I think we're ready. I'm trying not to disappoint.
Renegades, you ready? Renegades, talk for yourself.
Well, they always say that uneasy lies the head that wears the crown, but this head is not uneasy. It's not uneasy. We welcome the challenge. We one of the things with Renegades is that we set our sights not just on Panorama but the world, so that there's a big challenge that they're coming against, because we are looking at the world, Renegades to the world. So, but it's all good, and as I say, as long as there are shows of this nature for Pan people, to work towards, it's all the better for the industry. So yeah, we are glad to be part of this, and we're going to put our best foot forward. And of course, we hope to be at the end of the show the talking point of the show. But it's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
And let me just share a point an experience with you. During the semi-final of Panorama this year, although we're competing against each other, in climbing the little incline from Gillingham Avenue, Skiffle Congas fell and cracked. Or you're going into a competition, you're competing against band. So Skiffle called Frontlayer. And so our congas just cracked, and Frontlayer already competed. And Frontlayer said, come for our congas. So send two guys for it. So we sent two guys to collect Frontlayer congas. Now we competed against each other. And on our way to collect Frontlayer congas, Renegades just finished performing on stage. And Renegades said, what's the problem? He said, congas cracked, so take ours. And when he gets harnessed their congas from on the rack on the stage. I went back. So that's the kind of camaraderie we have. And we are competing against each other. Where in the world would you find that? And that should be mentioned here today. And we are competing in the same competition. And this is two South bands collaborating, a North band collaborating with a South band for the cause. And the cause is greater in this regard. There you go. And that's what we're talking about.
We call it friendly. Something I know that Skinner Park is up for restoration.
Well, it was to start in May, the beginning of May. And because of this event, matter of fact, when Frank and I started speaking, and we said, well, it is planned to start the whole refurbishment program in May. We started looking for another venue. And I had to say, listen, 2 weeks will not hurt. But this is so important and so critical to sign for. Let's postpone. And I had to look at look for a progress report on the project. And it was out for tender, and the tenders were just coming back in. And I realized that it will take some time because you have to go through the process and then assign the contract, as the case may be. Then the contractors will come in, scope of works, and all the ramifications that we speak about. So then there was a window there for us, and I got back to Frank and said, okay, it could happen, let's do it. So the plan is that the ending of May, this may very well be the last event in Skinner Park as we know it. Pardon me? Oh, no, I think the Steelbands will benefit from any part, as the case may be. This is about the Steelbands. You know, we have to look for opportunities that create revenue opportunities for ourselves. Too many times we perform. Most times we are more engaged for performances. It is charity by hand. So I think we have to become proactive and can't depend on the state. This is what we are doing here, partnering with the agencies like Spectacular that create revenue opportunities for the bands. Because without this, we're not going to survive. And you know, we need to move away from the state. We need to do that. And maybe others, and Brian was saying earlier on, we expect other promoters to come on board. We, as the city corporation, have a responsibility to provide high class and quality entertainment. We have a facility. We're inviting other promoters. Come to us. We can facilitate you. We can provide whatever we have. We can make it happen through the corporation so we can have events for our corporation. I mean, running a city, we need entertainment. We need to find ways to create that for people and give our young persons, our performers, our musicians a stage to express themselves musically, as the case may be. And not only pan, but other art form as well.
Could we just get a little insight into the collaboration with the Point Virgin Jazz Festival with Skipper?
Yeah, but all right, he would put it a little awkward, but yes, we working with for the Big Pod for her jazz. The V spot, as it's called, that was new for me, but it will probably start at an angle and end at a triangle at a point. So, but we'll go down there and do what we have to do, and that starts the jazz in Point 40, and that's on Wednesday night. It's the first because we are performing with Bonnet, and it's a new experience for us with a jazz that sing at that. I mean, Bonnet really is at a peak at this point, and it's extremely popular and an amazing talent we have in Trinidad and Tobago, and it's a wonderful opportunity for us to be able to perform with her. By association. So I think we'll thank you all for making the effort to be here with us this evening, and I want to thank Spectacular for collaborating with us and for giving us the opportunity to express ourselves. We want to thank the participating bands for making the effort and to coming down there and showcase their skills to the Southerners. And I'll tell you something, these bands are very, very busy, and pan is very alive in Port of Spain. I don't want to say it's dormant in San Fernando, but between panelists, Darren, myself, and the other bands in San Fernando, we have to do some work, and we want to take the opportunity to use this as an opportunity for us to move to another level, raise the bar somewhat, and then we have a responsibility, the three of us here who are representing the three bands, to get other bands to raise that bar and start expressing ourselves musically and as we are required to do. So this is a great opportunity for us. Spectacular, thank you. Northern bands, thanks for coming down. And of course, I am, as the mayor of this city, want to give you the assurance that the South bands will be coming out blazing on May the 18th. Mr. Mercado?
Yeah.
Blazing. well, we have Darren and panelists and Skiffle. We have what's called homegrown advantage.
Coming from Milton, while Austin, he said, back to basics, Panorama back in the 1970s.
I went for was a force in Blocaragara. Manager talking there. Darren, your manager talking there. Darren get out of school, didn't they? Okay, so media people, thanks for coming and thanks for giving us your support. We expect this to make the front page tomorrow, unique main caption, right? Tomorrow we don't want to hear anybody who get killed in somewhere down in Golconda. The main caption tomorrow is front page. Thank you all so much. Yeah.